Hello, everybody, and that... Oh, hello. Why is... Ah, it's because the order has changed, because, Ruby, you never put your mic on. So we've got Giant Lake.
Or your camera on.
Camera.
All weep, be afraid, for the power I possess is mighty.
You've lost it now. It's back to me. Welcome on, everybody, to another episode of the Elendor Chronicles, brought to you by the Component Cast. Hope everybody's had a lovely, wonderful week. First up is I'm a little sick right now. I sound it. I don't feel it. I very much sound it. But if my voice tires out, we might have a slightly shorter session today. So bear that in mind. However, hopefully we will be okay. Also, we might have a shorter session, but I hope everybody out there is fine. As well, before we get on, let's do our standard housekeeping. To start us off, we need to thank Music D20, the independent composition team that bring our TTRPG table to life. You can hear their entire catalogue throughout these streams, and also get their entire catalogue, including loopable tracks, by subscribing to their Patreon. For $5 a month, you can get, I think it's almost 100 tracks now. It's very much worth it, and it's all usable on your streams too, should you wish. So go check them out. More details for that in our links and panels below. And of course, thank you to Syrinscape, who Syrinscape help us bring this atmosphere to you guys and the players. You can add sounds and more to your game when you download the Syrinscape desktop or mobile app. The app comes with is free and comes with 20 sound sets to get you started. Go to Syrinscape.com or follow the links in our panels and description to find out more. Without further ado, however, let's get on with tonight's episode.
We stand together, foes, friends, and unaligned, to set right a world for the mortal kind. At this, the apogee of all the bloodshed, this great summit where fate hangs her solemn head, it is up to I to duly justify what will happen to those from heaven high, from down below in plains of such hatred, from fire, earth, air, and water created, those of fey and bewildering wilds, even to us, which divinity doth smile. So I put to you, the immortal titans vanquished, I say leave with honor, or be banished. For those that leave with their heads held in dignity may stake their hold on mortals willingly, placing their faith in your sublimity. Yet those that refute my generous overture, those who would see to destroy mortal love, art, culture, their freedom to choose, fight, fail, laugh, and grow, I shall strike them down with a banishing blow. Those that shall not heed this decree for warning will find their flock in despair, mourning the loss of their god, for I will cast out that rebellious soul without a doubt. Your time is over. All is said and done. The war is past us and the battle won. So hear my decree, or forget your litany, for now is an age of true brilliancy. The past is the past. Your dominion is all but your. Now is the time for Elendor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Elendor Chronicles. So, it's been a week, I believe, since we last played. We had an off week last week, so I will do a quick recap. The group managed to, first up, discover what might be the issue surrounding the booze that's been going missing from Norwixie. It seems some groups of anarchists have been stealing the booze, and they dispatched one of the cells and then found a way to grab the booze for themselves, building themselves a veritable booze train at the master craftsmanship of our own Zepp, who managed to get a steam-powered Triceratops-pulled booze bus going. At the same time, Ruby and Valmir began exploring enchanting. And you guys, as a group, managed to sell off a few barrels and get yourselves to the main trade road. You also, at the end of last session, getting to yourselves to the settlement of Braston, where Darius, with one of his lackeys, managed to get in contact with some underhanded individuals who might be willing to buy the booze. And we left off with a meeting being set up at the well on the hill outside of town at midnight. But, folks, the day is yours. Is there anything you would like to do?
I would like to make a wand of darkness.
Right. Okay. What are the components for the darkness spell?
It is bat fur. I can put it in the thingamabob. Component is bat fur and a drop of pitch or a piece of coal.
Okay, so you have some coal.
I think
and you
have the coal.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think we're spoken for on the coal. I think you're gonna have to get some more.
I mean, I think we can do that as well.
For balancing reasons, I've been discussing this, and also some party members have also discussed on building this thing. So it's going to be a little bit harder to enchant. I will say that now, but you do have the stuff to do it. You have one of the mediocre ones, the middling ones to enchant from built by. They were okay. They were suffice. But it's what I'm going to need.
As soon as Valmir tries doing something,
yeah,
then
I'm the one that needs the nerf.
There was a collective that came together and just agreed that enchanting it needs to take more time than it did previously.
Yeah.
Can't be cranking out wands of fireball every day. That's a little.
Yeah. So what it's going to take is because it's a level 2 spell. First up, we're going to need to. So there's going to be a process that you have to go. So first up, you need to prep the wand, which will be the first level of it. And then I will need to do essentially a day's work for each level of enchantment, of spell that you're trying to enchant. And there's chances for it to go wrong throughout the process. And you can lessen those chances by buying enchanting equipment and components, etc. Yes.
In that regard, does the wand that I have function as it is supposed to, or do we need to adjust that? And B, is it actually statted into my character sheet? Right now it's a +1 wand.
Yes, I've already statted that has been statted into the thing. However, it might not adjust some of your spells because the modules on Fantasy Grounds don't always take into stat buffs from weapons. So you might have to adjust that yourself, which you can do by opening up the magnifying glass. The thing I will adjust on yours is that yes, they still exist as they are. However, on there is a higher chance that they will break should you expend all the charges, and I will adjust those in a moment. But you can go back and try and improve the enchant by retroactively putting more material or trying to shore up the enchantment with more time and effort. But Valmir, feel free to try. So at first you're going to be prepping the wand. This will require an Arcana check. Are you proficient in Arcana?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, then give me an First up, how long are you wanting to spend today doing this?
All of it?
All day? Okay.
Sure.
Fine, absolutely fine. Give me an Arcana check.
That's a good start.
It's a decent start. We will come back to that because obviously
Anyway.
we'll see how that's going to go throughout the day. Is there anything else anyone would like to do?
Ruby is probably going to spend the day shopping, looking about, seeing the town, enjoying herself, taking a day off, so to speak.
Absolutely. This town is pretty vibrant, actually. You see a lot of... they have a main trade market in the center of town, which has a lot of caravansaries and caravanning traders. It's a bustling town for its size as well. It feels like that there is... So the population of the town and then its population again in traders, because it's just a vibrant hub. And yeah, it's a lovely little town. There's also not anything imposing like a castle or a central government. The highest government building in this town seems to be the constabulary in the town center, as well as the temple that's here. That's the highest.
I can hear you say constabulary 1,000 times and not grow tired of you hearing it.
Even when sick, it sounds like a good word. But no, it's a really nice day.
Also, collecting news.
Okay, yeah. Roll me a D20. Let's see what you get.
The troop mobilization, where people are going and stuff like that. Hey, roll right off the screen. That's okay. You didn't want that roll anyway.
Yep.
That's much better.
What a 15. Okay. You actually hear that the Lord Protector of the Marshes, from one of the traveling traders, the Lord Protector of the Marshes has called to levy. So the Cullis Marshland is levying the peasantry currently. But that's the border state. That is where that is the only part of the Rhiannon Empire that like land borders the Elven Empire, sorry, the Eldrin Empire, and they are normally the first to be levied, and sometimes are the only people levied, because tensions die down way before war happens. But it's just the Lord Protector is being.
There was also a bit of news that you kind of rushed through last session, and
yes.
I started writing it, and then I don't have it anymore.
What have you got? So, what was the bit of news that you got? What have you started writing? And I'll expand.
Looks like troops going west. Castle Callis.
Castle Callis is the capital of the Cullis Marshlands,
Yes.
which is this area that's levying. What I remember what you're talking about. Okay, so there's regards to fewer and fewer traders heading back that way. So traders are already changing their routes to either only instead of a left to right flow or across the empire, it's essentially west to east is now the only trade that seems to be happening. So a lot of the traders, instead of doing like a back from route, they're going a bit further afield or coming back by sea to Solarum instead of trying to avoid what might soon become an active war zone.
Tensions are high.
Yeah, tension's very high. DEFCON 2, kind of.
Sure. And at some point, she'd like to get the group together to discuss something.
Absolutely.
Just our party members without Joanna and others.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. She can go about doing that. Master Zep, are you doing anything particularly today?
I think I would like to spend a bit more time just making sure everything in our booze bus works.
Okay, sure.
So I know I did some repair work previously. This is basically just like tightening a few screws here and there. No major work, just maintenance.
Okay, maintenance, fine. That's absolutely fine to do. I won't make you roll for it. You're just, fixing bolts, finding creaky floorboards and going, no, I can redo that better. Make sure the carpentry's nice. Yeah, sure. Darius has been off on an adventure with one of his hirelings. Zedaar, what are you doing currently?
Well, I guess somebody has to make sure we go through and get the supplies we need. So Zedaar is going to head into town and see if there is any establishments that are selling magical enchanting equipment.
Okay.
Give me
a Arcana. Give me an investigation check.
Just let me find what I'm looking for. I'm going to guidance myself.
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
Because we can just do that all day long. Been a hot minute. Skills tabs. We're looking for investigation. That's a 5. Or sorry, that's a 7.
Okay. I didn't see your... Oh, right, I see. Haha. Natural 1 on the dice roll.
Yep.
Let's see. Roll low. Could work out for you. So, whilst you don't find a store per se, you do happen past a trader who, although they don't have any on them, says that they recently sold a load of gemstones to an enchanter in the next town of Bainley, who was starting to head eastwards towards Compound, where they owned a magic shop.
Okay.
So nothing in your local vicinity, but you know of a place where you might be able to get some.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm guessing you all regather at... you were camping outside of town, I believe, with the wagon train. So you regather at the wagon train.
Hello, everybody. Something I'd like to bring up to the group discussion, if we could. It is very likely that our actions in Retbury have caused the tensions that are rising throughout both the Empire and the Eladrin Empire. And that such may lead to war, to include war with Legran's land. If things get bad enough and the Eladrin Empire find out what's been going on. And I'm wondering, we intend to return Joanna to her father, but how does one just walk up and say, here's your daughter, bye? I don't think it's going to quite work like that. There's going to be more questions. And they might have concerns that we, in the process of our actions, also started a war.
With what we
really be said. So, go ahead.
With what we've seen of these two countries, I don't think they need much of an excuse to go to war.
We are the spark that lights the keg.
Yes, but this is a keg that has been lit every 5 to 10 years on the dot. This is not new for them. They've been doing it forever.
And whomever it is that kidnapped Joanna in the first place is the one who laid the kegs first.
You're all for telling the truth in its entirety towards whomever we have to speak to in Legran's land.
This is Legran's and we are returning Joanna too. They are not the ones at war with the Eladrin Empire.
Which brings me to my
found that truth is usually the best path.
And how does one cross the border into your land?
How does one cross the border into Lederungsland?
So, as you know and you've mentioned before to the group, Lederungsland is very isolationist and have been building essentially a great wall around their land. Essentially, there are 2 ways. Through the main trade road, at the border control, or via skyship, or through less reputable means, or the Underdark. There's a few ways, but the standard way, the main trade road, through passport control, essentially.
Which
You are traveling with a recognized guild artisan from Lederungsland, so just going through the main trade route would most likely be the best method, as long as none of you have done anything which would outlaw you in my land.
Here's my problem with that, Zep, and this is me thinking outside the box. It may just be as silly. Whoever locked up Joanna has considerable power to lock somebody away in a pocket dimension throughout time. It is not unreasonable to think that them being an intelligent individual of considerable power, the first place I would watch if somebody wanted to go home would be a normal border crossing.
It is not like Lederungsland is just a small little town. It is entire country. Do you think they could watch every single crossing point into the entire nation?
I don't think they have to. I think they have, if they have enough power, influence, or money, specifically bribe money.
I would, of course, like to think higher of my countryfolk, but the truth of the matter is, Joanna was stolen from under our own noses. It is a legitimate concern you have.
I think the border may be watched.
Okay, that does not change our plans at all.
I think we should look for an alternative to get into Lederungsland undetected.
You want
as
to
best as
sneak
possible.
into the country.
Yes. I'm offering the idea. If we're going to walk down the front door, then so be it. But would that not defeat the purpose of us hiding the entire way anyway?
There is another option. Because we have been traveling over land most of the time, it is most likely the land routes would be the ones being watched. We could instead take a path south from Compound to T.I.T.H.E and then sail from there to Kristallhafen. It is much easier to hide aboard a ship than it is to go through a door.
Zedaar just has this look on his face like, didn't I suggest us getting an airship like before we started this journey?
Yeah, but the airships are still fairly rare and could easily be watched. Ships, there are more.
The reasons we didn't take the airship still exist. One of us couldn't go to the country where we can get an airship, and 2, there's only 2 places an airship goes, so they could easily just
So we would
shut
have to
that
travel
down.
You're suggesting we could travel into Nautifel.
That's what that area is. Yeah, it is.
I will note, just on a DM level, that yes, that is Nautifel, Ruby, but that is part of not the kingdom you come from. It's part of Lord of Lace, which actually are pretty hostile to Othray, generally. So, which would be the kingdom you're from. Whilst externally they are together as a united front, internally they hate each other.
We are all for the lady, but fuck those guys.
We are for the lady better than the guys.
For those of you who know modern history, think of the kingdoms of Nautifel as the Chinese United Front in World War II.
Boy, that went well.
so non-functional without an external threat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So we have fear that they are watching the airports. We have fear that they are watching the borders. What is to say that they're not also watching the docks into the country? If we are just going to use the assumption that they are everywhere. Because I will remind you that we have seen ourselves that the easiest people to bribe are the people who seem to work the seas.
It
I'm
is
just gonna
possible,
point out-
but
Why don't we just go normally? I was just gonna say, why don't we just go in normally? We have a cover. We are obviously merchants. We are making a name as merchants because we are selling items, and we might even be able to buy legitimate trade goods with the bill of purchase.
At this point, we have approached it with such a paranoia that we are in belief that the entirety of Legrung's land is apparently against what we are trying to do. Let us just follow through with our plan, and assume it will work out in the end.
Because you're paranoid doesn't mean people aren't trying to kill you.
No. We'll just go normally. Just go with the flow. I think we've got a plan and a cover. She's fine. She is a squire. We don't need to go any deeper than that with anybody that we meet. Nobody's going to pay attention or care. The only thing that might lead to some oddity is the fact that Zepp is known at the border crossing, which may just help us in general.
Okay.
Hope it would.
Well, do you think it will?
I am saying that there is no reason to think otherwise.
Can I do an insight check?
Go for it.
Do I believe him?
I don't know.
Give us an insight roll.
Okay.
And then up to Mordred if you think he can be read on that.
Ten.
He's given you no reason to think otherwise.
Right. Okay.
So, the group, obviously you've had your conversation. Do you regroup with the rest of the caravan and Joanna, etc.?
Yeah, Ruby would return with the group.
Well, when the group returned to the caravan, Patrick pokes his nose up and goes, Mr. Reynard, sir, are we doing the thing tonight?
Was he always Samwise?
He definitely always had a West Country accent. I think it's just because I've got a cold. He's turned into Samwise Gamgee. I was just pruning the roses. I was just pruning the roses, and I overheard that you were, going to destroy the ring in Mordor.
But I can carry you.
I can't carry this story, but I can give you a plot point.
Yeah. What was the question? I completely. Sorry.
Are we doing the meeting tonight?
Right. Yes, of course.
Does everybody else
Unless
know?
you think it's a trap.
I don't know. I've not dealt with these people before. I just got you the meeting.
How do you not know? You obviously.
He seems like he is a pretty honest broker for the illegal sort of stuff.
Right.
Take that as you will.
Okay. I am. Yes, this all rides on your ability to read an individual that you've never met before. How is that difficult? Sure,
Okay.
yeah, we'll go.
Okay, so the rest of the party, you guys heard that. He said that openly to the group. That wasn't an aside. I might remind you that Darius has mentioned nothing of this meat.
I was given the responsibility. I was given the responsibility to get in contact with the criminal underworld. I am doing that job. I don't need help.
Okay.
The less I know, the better.
Exactly. Plausible deniability.
Sure.
Well, if you don't need any help, I will go back to polishing my wand.
And Ruby's going to be trying to
Whatever you want to call it, Valmir. I'm not going to judge. Just make sure it's in your own tent.
I was doing some processing on what I think these barrels of whiskey and such would go for. The Norixi gold was for 1,000 gold pieces. We did not quite get that, but that is reasonable. For this, I may be a little bit off, but I think it would be fair to say that 500 gold pieces would be almost the asking price in a establishment for the triple X, 200 for the double X, and 100 for the single X. With that, we could approach a price point that would be fair. If we take a loss, that is also fine, but this is probably what it would be sold for at face value to someone who is going to be selling it as a vendor.
Okay. One counterpoint, Zedaar. How can we have a loss when this is goods we've taken?
I'm not saying it is a loss. I'm saying that we will be getting fleeced.
Okay, but it's still profit.
It is pure profit, but then
Yes.
just because you find a diamond on the side of the road, does that mean you would give it away for 5 gold pieces?
No, but if it's a diamond worth, I don't know how much a diamond's worth.
There are great many of
Depends
them
on
worth
how-
great many values.
Depends on the size.
It's
like asking how
long. All right, it's generally just a bad example. Either
It also
way,
depends if the
yeah.
diamond companies in this world are like, holding some back in the reserve and also and inflating the market as
If they've culturally primed the nations of the world to value diamonds, yes.
I'm just saying these are the prices that we should look to gauge ourselves by selling them by.
Right.
Not just want to give them away for far too less than they are worth.
I'm fairly sure I can guarantee you we're not going to get those prices, no matter what we do.
That is what we are aiming for. If we get
Right.
300 for a triple barrel, that is still 300 gold and still good money. I'm just saying, do not sell them for a ridiculously low sum for what they should be worth.
Right. I negotiate bounty, like contracts,
And
for my
how much
job.
do you know about the cost of alcohol?
I mean, not much, but I know what a life's worth. Well, yeah, but yeah, I mean, somewhat applicable. If anything, I have a harder job than what this is going. You know what? We'll see what we get.
I believe anything above half of the price is a good deal.
Yes.
If we get more than
What I
half, what it
negotiated
is
for
worth,
with the gold.
well, perfect.
So Darius,
I
I
you're
believe
getting to
Zedaar
know-
was just letting you know what the prices
I don't think we're going to get into the specifics of it. I think we're going to go for a lump sum with a lump amount of barrels, and we're just going to kind of work
but
through
it
that.
would be useful to know what the maximum we could expect to earn is, because then we can
Right.
set a price for the rest.
Okay.
Okay. So
Good luck.
Darius is going tonight. Is there anyone going with him?
I was gonna say, yeah. Anybody else want to just come and contradict
told
these?
us.
Darius has got this. He does this by himself.
Okay. So the rest of the party, I'll
Darius,
need you to
if
set
we
up
never see Darius
watches for
again-
the evening.
Clearly, he just didn't have it.
A body similar to Patrick just shows up in a river a couple days from now.
In a
There's
booze
no-
barrel.
In a booze barrel. They never see Darius
They're
again.
sending a message. This is our town. You don't sell booze here.
I'm just gonna load up a game of Empire of Sin right now.
I was considering placing
We've
next time to
actually
make
just,
him bad at
we're
wisdom.
Brasser. We just found the
We have to declare who we work for, Midge. If we say you can't make that joke, we have to declare who we work for that. We can't say that.
I was a
Internet
beta
anymore?
tester on that game. It's fine.
So was I.
Yeah, I know. Our names are in the
Both our
credits.
names are in the
We can
credits.
we can.
Yeah.
There's nothing in my contract that says I can't say that I didn't enjoy my time in that originally.
That was.
However, I've gone back and played it now. It's not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll go alone. Well, not alone. I'll go with Patrick.
Okay, you and Patrick. Okay, so the rest of you, your day is yours. I will need watches from you at some point, but over to you two. The night falls, and you you
Die.
no,
Well,
you get to the suspected location. You're the first people there until
Punctuality.
eventually you see a light at the bottom of the hill flash 3 times, like someone closing and opening a hooded lantern.
Patrick? The code?
That means someone's coming. And then
Right. Wouldn't Yep. Yep.
So
I'm gonna wait.
what normally will
No,
happen is they've
it's
got
okay.
someone watching the
Less
hill
I know,
who
the
will
better.
just tell you when people are approaching, good or bad.
That seems like extra work, though.
It's just how they tend to run things.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
And then, sorry, my Syrinscape has crashed. Give me 2 moments. And then a large fellow, leather apron,
The
starts
miller.
to walk up the hill. No, the butcher from before.
Oh, he's a straight-laced man. Where's the miller?
He says, "So, are you ready? The Mr. Rowe will be here very soon. Have you got any samples of what you're swinging? You know."
Yeah, I think I said I got like a bottle last time. There was like a,
Yep.
a bottle of the average.
Mm-hmm. He's just in case. We've had a bit of issues with the T.I.T.H.E.
Is that an acronym I'm not familiar with?
Yeah, the T.I.T.H.E. The Task Force for International Trade, Harvest, and Evangelion.
Wow, that seems oddly progressive of this kingdom of this.
Oh, it belongs to the church.
Oh, okay. Actually, no, that tracks theocracy.
So it's asking me to relog into Syrinscape. If you're permanent.
Do you need me to like take a swig of alcohol to prove I'm not a man of cloth, or what?
No,
What's
just
going on?
I believe you. But Clarence is a bit jumpy, and you'll want to keep your eyes open for it, just in case.
He's not a rabbit, is he?
No, he's a human.
Okay, yeah. No, just honestly, that was poor. No, that was just previous experience. It was honestly my bad.
There we go. And after about another 10 minutes or so waiting, the light at the bottom of the hill from the cottage shines again. And
See, my
three
problem with
individuals
it is somebody could just
begin to
see
walk
that
up
and
the
know
hill.
things were happening.
And you see a tall human flanked by one smaller human and one half orc walking up the hill. They wear very similar garbs to mill workers.
I knew it.
And in the center you see Clarence Rowe. He goes, Sam, Clarence. So, I hear you've got some bread for me. What are we talking?
No,
are we talking
alcohol,
brown?
actually.
Are we talking brown or are we talking ciabatta?
I don't get the reference. I'm not a miller.
How good's the grain?
See, we're talking about a liquid, so I'm not sure what's going on. This is a code. Patrick,
Give me an insight check
translate.
as well.
Right.
But Patrick turns to you and says, "He's classing
12.
what you're selling through bread. Okay, that's fine. Through bread, like if it's a particularly good. He's asking if it's what you're selling is good or bad stuff.
Oh, it's a. Can we just drop the pretense of the coded language? Because I'm not a part of the culture.
No, we don't know.
So
If, we don't know if the T.I.T.H.E are around. And
is that going to stop them?
well, the thing
Using
is,
coded language?
it's not going to stop
If
them.
they've gone
But
this far,
it will lessen the ability to. It helps with how they have to charge things. It's a really weirdly coded law.
right? Okay, then I have a basket of many different grains. I'm not sure. But this is an average. Here's a slice that it's an average of it. I'm not sure.
He clicks. He like clicks and whistles, and the half orc grabs it, opens the bottle, like gums some. He goes, and the half orc goes, "You've got the better and worse of this."
Yeah, that's the distinct average. That's the double X.
We've got
Right.
so. He's got a mix of Tibetan and brown. And the miller just
I
nods.
suppose. I don't-
How many baskets we're talking?
I'm assuming you mean barrels.
He means barrels, sir.
Right. Thank you, Patrick. How many do we have? It's like how many do we have left?
How many do you have?
Yeah, how many do we have left?
How many
just
do
in
you
general.
have?
That's what I'm asking the person who's keeping track of it. It's
Yeah.
I think.
Who
So
you
if you're
rep-
asking, does Roach know
Does
how
Roach
many
know?
we have left?
Oh, Darius knows.
Darius didn't
This has
ask?
been his. No, he knows. He's been a part of the conversation. He sold the gold.
Give me an
So we
intelligence check.
have. Actually, I do know exactly how many we have.
I know you know exactly, but does Darius know? Give me an intelligence check.
Darius is not an idiot.
You didn't ask.
It's in the bloody party sheet.
It is in the
Yeah.
party sheet.
Yeah.
Imagine at this point, Ruby's just sitting on a.
It's in the party sheet. He's just traveling in the train that's next to all the barrels.
Then go. Say how many baskets you got.
Well, we have obviously the slim majority of the lesser quality. Maybe, I don't know, 10, a little bit more than 10 or more of that. About the same of the slightly better, and then actually technically it's one of the other is similar in size. So we've just got a general smattering. We can do about half of the load of each of those here if we want, or if you're trying to go for a specific one, we could go that. It's a negotiable amount. It's upwards of it's more than 30 barrels. Think
30 barrels.
close to it, yeah. Close.
Okay. You see that he seems to have been distracted by the other human that came with him. He's like, Amos, you look a little nervous. How about you go for a walk? He's like, no, I know, I'm fine, sir. I'll stay right here. Amos, go for a walk. And that individual kind of leaves.
So what was that?
Didn't like the
Bit
way he
normal?
was shaking.
We're just not going to reference that.
I don't
Not gonna-
think that was normal, sir. Patrick says.
No, thank you, Patrick.
We'll give you 5 battens for 30 baskets.
Right, so we're just going to have to go straight to gold measurements here because that one's too coded. I don't know what that means.
5,000 in various trade bars of differing denominations for 30 barrels.
5,000 for 30 barrels. That would be even average of. See, I have to check a calculator, but Darius wouldn't. That would be for about 30 barrels. That'd be so 160-ish gold pieces per barrel. It's a good starting offer. Could we maybe? I mean, this is an unusually large shipment. It's gonna go for a lot more than that. Potentially the majority. Maybe we could bump that up to maybe 6,500.
Give me a persuasion check.
Righto. And regardless of what I roll here, I'm putting a D8 on top of that. So that would be an 18.
You're trying to shift a large load, and we're taking a large load off your hands, and the price of bread isn't always the same across the towns. But we could do 2,000. Sorry, it's 6,000. Darius, give me a perception check quickly.
All right.
Wonder how Darius is doing as Ruby sips on a glass of wine somewhere.
13.
It wasn't particularly hard. Over this dude's shoulder, you see that light flickering again.
We encountering somebody else tonight?
It shouldn't be. He looks around. Oh, fuck.
There's just
Okay.
a light thingy happened. Is that
Hide.
hide?
And
Hide?
yeah, the guys
Hide?
that are with you just scatter.
Patrick?
What are you doing?
I am in full noble regalia. I'm in my normal noble outfit.
By a well
Where?
in a field.
By a well in a field. Is there like a bucket with water like right next to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Splash that on my face. Swords out. And I'm doing like an oiling thing right now, and I look like I've just got like a whole bunch of sweat is what I look like. Like I've just been doing a lot of training. Patrick, look busy. Look busy. Do your normal duties. Look busy.
Patrick like jumps and just starts tying your shoe.
Right.
Like lacing your boot. Just in a panic, and he just says like, and you see 5 individuals walking up. They're in long robes. And you can see them because they're kind of silhouetted by this light, which is then suddenly gets snuffed. You see one of them turn around and send one of them towards the cottage house doing, and then they come up, and there's one of them introduces themselves to you and is introduced. She goes, hold on, let me get the name here. He shows you like a holy symbol. And he just goes, and it's got his name like engraved on it. It says, Hugh Costa, ecclesiastical agent. We're looking for a group of individuals that have been sighted around here. One of them goes by the name of Clarence Rowe. Have you seen them in the area?
Afraid not. I've been doing some night training. I haven't been paying much attention to things around me. It's a brisk night. It's always good to get the blood pumping in this kind of air. So I'm afraid I can't help you much, gentlemen.
Well, if you see anything, citizen, please let your local temple know that they're well-known ruffians, should we say, and there's a warrant out for their arrest right now.
Ruffians?
Yes, they've been known to trade in illicit goods. Recently, they...
are they millers?
One of them seems to be. There's Clarence that we're looking for.
It's always the millers.
It's unfortunately, they just, there's something in the flour. There's something in the flour, and these agents just kind of nod their head and use them. Hero guide you, and they kind of leave back down the hill. They're just like then they go just like you guys fan out that way. I'm sure they'll be around here somewhere.
Oiling the sword, waiting.
About 5 more minutes or so. Clarence reappears. Oh, that was close.
Yeah. The fuck? Is that normal?
Unfortunately, T.I.T.H.E have been stepping up their attempts. Don't worry, we're pretty solid.
Okay. Yes. About to say, yeah. 6,000. Good with. I think we can unload that much.
Okay. So 30 barrels.
Yes. We'll go through our stocks, get you what we can, and then it'll be at least 30 barrels. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a windmill here. He points it out. I'm guessing you brought them out with you. So drop it off, and then pick up the 2 grain sacks that will be outside the mill. You'll find your trade bars.
Right. Are we sure it's going to be trade bars?
Various denominational trade bars.
All right. Sounds good. Do we shake on this or what? Patrick, do we
on
shake?
His hand, and he puts his hand
Patrick.
out to shake.
Patrick, shake. Shake his hand.
Patrick shakes the man's hand.
Yep.
And then they leave down the hill.
Who leaves first? Okay. All right.
Darius, you return to camp. Give me a perception check, as you do.
Right.
As you walk through the town at night.
I think that went well.
As you're walking through town, you see, you remember you're not sure, but you see a crowd of people standing around what seems to be a smaller fellow on the ground, with the body of, should I say, a humanoid on the ground, with members of the constabulary, and then also you see one of these ecclesiastical agents, also in this like hubbub around this body on the ground. And from what you can see, kind of looks like it might be the person that was sent away from that initial group. But you continue on and you make it back to camp.
Yeah, it's not my problem. It's not my problem at all. I finished my job.
The rest of you, hope you've had a nice evening.
Ruby ate at some fine dining. She's dressed up a little bit. Spent time writing her journal, designing a tabard for the group. It's been a nice night.
Very nice, very nice. Braun,
I am here, just dying a little bit from misdrinking tea.
Oh no. Hope you're okay. That's one of the most British.
There's nothing better
British
to wake
problems.
you up than aspirating tea into your lungs.
Misdrinking tea.
That's a British problem. Braun is currently, it seems to be helping Joanna with, because Darius was out, Braun's taken it upon himself to do some weapon training with Joanna.
Okay.
But is there anything else anyone wanted to do whilst Darius was on his excursion? If not, Darius and Patrick return.
I'm good.
Okay. Lambert, by the way, you did, in the hours you spent today, you did manage to prep your wand. So your wand is ready for enchantment.
Sweet. Sweet.
Worked out a deal. Anybody's awake. So we get back.
Yeah, I have just been restocking some of the coal supplies, putting them in the right boxes. So,
We got
what's
30 barrels for 6,000 gold pieces. We can stock the majority of the lower quality liquor on top of that with a small amount of the high quality and most of the medium. And then we keep the high quality. They don't care about the quality. They're just looking for the bulk order.
They were specific about not caring about the quality.
I said I had a general smattering of quality, and I gave them I guess I actually did give them a sniff because I did just sniff it of the medium quality liquor. So, and they knew I said I had a smattering of it. So, right, Patrick?
Yeah,
Getting tired? That was a long response time.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Sorry, I was just thinking about that dead guy.
Don't think about it. It's not our problem.
Right. Well, I wouldn't not give him any of the good stuff. I'll make sure there was some in there. I don't want to double cross Millers, sir.
No, yeah, obviously they're just a pack of rats. So
that's not something to worry about. We only have 36 barrels left. So
yes.
Regardless, 5 barrels of the really good stuff are going to find their way into that.
Yes. But if I recall, the majority of what we're going to be giving them is the lowest quality liquor, correct? So
we had 10 barrels of double X and 15 of single X.
The party sheet says we have 11 barrels of double X.
Yeah, 15 single, 11 double, 13 triple.
Triple.
Do you have less than that?
I think we may have sold.
Oh, is that has it not been updated since you sold a few?
No, I'm looking because we had 40 barrels in total, 26 barrels of various mid grades, and we sold 3 of them. So I just realized that this math is off because this can't be right.
30. Hang on, that's no, we've got a wrong amount of barrels. To be fair, I think it's 35.
Yeah, because there was 11. There's 11 double, 15 single, and we sold 3 double.
Yeah, so we've actually only got.
So that would have been
8 double.
We would have 23 of the 2 and 1.
8 double because one's the whiskey gold, which you sold off as well. So yes.
Yep. I say we give them all the lowest quality first, and then whatever we need to make up, we give them the higher quality, and then I think we work out above average, since the majority of what we're going to be giving them is going to be the lowest quality, and we're going to be over the barrel price of that, if I worked out my math correctly. So, because this is the the lowest quality is only 100 gold pieces per barrel, correct?
Something like that, yes.
So 15 of that is going to be at 200 a barrel, and then whatever's left over is going to be at 200 a barrel as well, which might be slightly less, but it'll equal out.
It seems like it is a fair price regardless.
Yes. I told you I knew how to do this, right? Right, Patrick?
Right.
Zedaar just looks at Patrick.
Did it go as smoothly with him as it did as he's making it presented to right now?
I mean,
yes, Patrick, did it go as smoothly?
I mean, the trade-in went really smoothly, except for the agents and the dead guy.
Dead guy?
It's not our problem. I keep saying this. He was a part of the negotiations, was dismissed, and then ended up dead later.
Yeah, that.
And the agents just kind of came around for what was it, 2 minutes? Bought a cover story and then left.
Right, yeah, that.
Exactly.
You said agents were looking for the guy you were dealing with. Did they say why they were looking for him? Why is he wanted by the authorities?
Well, he's a miller, which means he is into the criminal enterprise.
Yes, and someone apparently he was working with just wound up dead in the middle of town.
Yes, but I mean...
You're not curious why he ended up dead in the middle of town?
Not particularly. He seemed like a flaky individual anyways. Maybe he was sick.
I have a number of concerns.
Darius. I love playing Darius. It's amazing.
A number of concerns.
I don't see why he was dismissed for a reason. Because he wasn't.
He was dismissed and then turned up dead. Which leads me to believe that he was not just dismissed from the gathering; he was dismissed from this life.
Concerns that are
they're millers. I mean, what can you expect?
That the individual you are dealing with brutally murdered one of his own men, or had brutally murdered one of his own men because he was slightly suspicious of them. We are dealing with this individual.
Zedaar,
I'm gonna roll an intelligence check for. I'm gonna roll an intelligence check for Patrick right now. To see if he can put together what he thinks has happened.
Zedaar, we worked for a gentleman who controlled part of an island through a harsh regime of blood and terror.
Because he had our lives in the balance.
Hey, you told me to make a clandestine deal.
So I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this, but
It's a natural 20.
no, it's a 19.
Natural 19. That's still really good.
It's a 19 minus 3.
Is Patrick illiterate? What the fuck?
Yes, Patrick is illiterate.
He's a commoner.
Oh wow.
Try my shoes. I won't even let you read.
Low intelligence, high wisdom with Patrick. He goes, so I think the other guy was a bit nervous and they dismissed him and then they had him killed because it's just a bit weird that those agents were coming around. So I'm guessing maybe he was a rat.
Yeah, so if anything, our deal is more airtight.
This is not what I am accustomed to dealing with, and I have...
I mean, honestly, neither am I. I'm defaulting to Patrick on most of this.
I mean, I stole fruit once. This is a bit highbrow for me.
Yeah. Yes.
I stole fruit once and now I can speak thieves' test.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I was good
doesn't-
friends with a lot of thieves. That's very different.
Yeah, it's a free association. Yeah, it works out. You also knew their code for the lantern. So that seems like a... You also got the... Funny enough, you also understood that they were using a coded language with the negotiations that I just couldn't crack that. So,
Like I worked in a mill for a couple of years too.
that explains it.
I am still not seeing the connections with the mills and this. In my land, the millers are simply the ones who crush the rocks.
Oh.
Is that a German thing?
That's a German language joke right there.
It's a German language joke. That can add layers to it.
What you did there, I see it.
No, these are the individuals who make grain. They don't make grain. They Patrick, what does a miller do again? They
turn grains into flour.
Exactly that.
Would that just be they mill?
They mill.
Well, but then again, that means a different thing in his language, so you gotta kind of break it down further. They turn grain into flour for bakers, and then also crime.
I don't think one automatically means you're the other.
It's honestly, I mean,
No, honestly.
you've been around the block a little bit. It's a good correlatory right there.
No, it's not really not.
I mean, so far my sample size is 100.
No, your sample size is 1.
100%. 100% of all millers that I know are criminals. That's not untrue.
Exasperated Ruby. Oh, why did the sorcerer's powers not grant me the silence spell?
It wouldn't help with Darius.
So yeah, I don't.
When do we deliver the booze?
Tomorrow. It was tomorrow night, right? It was tomorrow night. At the windmill, right? That we were
tomorrow sundown at the windmill.
Yeah, tomorrow sundown at the windmill. There'll be 2 green sacks that have an assortment of trade bars that should equal 6,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
How are we going to transport the wares? It is a little bit obvious if we arrive in this.
We could. I'm assuming there are stables in town. Purchase or procure a draft horse, hook it up to the 2 spare carts, and just deliver it with those. If we leave them behind, then, oh well, we do not need them to carry the load anymore.
If one horse is able to carry 30 barrels worth.
That's a lot to ask for one horse. I'll say that now as a DM. That's a lot to ask for one horse, I think.
Actually, there is something I may be able to assist here. One moment. There is something I have been wondering about. There is a potion I have been thinking of creating, and I could make it this evening if I can remember how this works. Give me 2 minutes. I need to look something up.
Absolutely, that's fine.
We do not need to make it in only one trip.
It's true.
The more trips we do, though, the more risk we have of these evangelical people coming to spoil the party.
Well, taking our main wagon there is going to spoil the party.
Also,
Not exactly quiet.
Very noticeable and distinguished.
it kind of sums up what we do.
Yeah, okay. I think I may have an answer. If you can get me a decent draft horse, I can feed it with this potion and make it a very big draft horse.
This,
Would you have the tackle for a bigger horse?
We just have a
two
horse
problems with
the
that.
size of a Trojan horse
Yeah.
pull 2 carts through the middle of the village. Nobody will notice that.
Except we're not at the middle of the village. We don't have to go through the town. We're already at the north end, right?
Pay no minds, peasants. It's
True.
totally
Very true.
normal. Pay no mind.
We could take our wagon by the mill and move 1 barrel back and forth at a time. Like,
Or we could just drive to a point nearby, then enlarge and biggen the horse,
Get the horse.
and then have the horse take those carts while we
and
just
then
drive
cause
on.
a panic at night. You just like, oh god, it's a monster horse! It's just like it's coming over the bridge. It's just fucking-
It would really depend on what the route there is like.
Get the pitchforks and the torches.
I am simply saying it is a possibility.
I think we'd have a better option for just using our 3-horn if it came to that. At least it's of common size ish.
We are going to leave the town. Do we care if it is going to be noticeable that we are doing this?
I'd rather not have a bounty on my head for illegal dealings.
Why do they not just come to us and grab their gear or their
Probably, I'm going to take a guess in the fact that it's at a windmill, which is where a miller would normally do their job. They probably have some sort of illegal storehouse. Or
Darius, stop.
I'm pointing it out. There's a reason we're being sent there. Is they have a place that's like maybe got a false floor or a wall or something.
Once delivery has been made, storage is their problem, not ours.
Exactly. So that's probably why we're going there. So it's less overall their problem to get it there. And
You're muted.
you're muted. You're muted.
Perhaps we can do a drop off and go. Do this on the way out of town. We drive our wagons past the mill. We drop off what we are meant to drop off. We take the sacks of gold or whatever, the bonds, and then we leave town then and there.
Trade bars, I think. Was
Trade bar. What money?
Yes. Yeah. I'm good with that. I think that would be the most.
On what side of town is the mill?
North.
North side of town.
And we are leaving which direction, ideally?
East.
We are heading east, specifically southeast.
Can we get to the mill without going through the center of town? Is there a road running around the town?
There's not it's not like a ring road, but you could use the various dirt paths that like aren't labeled in the town map, and you could find a way.
We do not need to follow a road. We could cut through fields if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Are we in where are we again? Are we in Bastion?
Braston.
Braston.
Braston. Braston. We need to go east, but the road we need to take is south. Because we need to, if we're trying to stick to the main trade road, then we need to go south to stay on that. So we could probably just go up to the miller's place, drop everything, and then we can go through town on the way out. But yeah, it's not gonna be quiet unless we don't turn the engine on during that.
Perhaps maybe that would be a good idea for this time.
It would be difficult for Darcy to pull the load by herself without the engine.
Well, we could take the engine. We could probably. I'm assuming, Midge, there's probably like roadways out, like on the external part of the town that kind of just lead around, like for people that don't want to go inside the main.
I mean, there's various
built-up
dirt
area.
tracks through fields, but it's normally foot traffic. Like a lot of people go, like all the roads are the ones on the Braston handout in the handout thing.
I was saying we could just take some dirt tracks, kind of circumnavigate north, drop everything off, then normally through town after we've dropped everything off. It'll be a much easier load for her to carry or pull without most of the barrels.
We do not need the excess carts at this point. That is just more weight slowing us down.
Might be worth simply buying 2 horses, 1 for each cart, and then just use those.
That would be an excess. What are we going to do? Because we're dropping this off at the end of the day. And then what are we just going to take that whole train down to the next town to then sell it off? Or are we,
Or
what are we
just
doing?
leave it there.
But that's costs money.
Yeah, it is a cost of doing business. You can write that
But
off. Apply it against our taxes.
We're not. It's an illegal trade transaction. We're not paying taxes on this. I don't think so.
That is
We did
true.
not
Fine.
pay very much for the carts. With what we are making, it is just easier to leave them there.
No, I agree with that. I was saying we probably shouldn't just buy horses though, because horses aren't cheap. And
If someone could ride them back, just rent them for the day.
or we could just sell them on the next town. That would be another thing we could just do. We could just have them on the train behind us.
Yeah, this is true. It is not unreasonable that a group of travelers would be traveling with 2 extra horses.
Good. That could work. Why don't we do that? Why don't tomorrow somebody go out, buy 2 horses? moderate cost. And then we just use them to get everything we need to north and south out of the town. With everything.
Then that will be what we focus on.
Okay, so we are about halfway through the night, but we're still going to need 3 watches if you want to get your full rest, guys. Well, at least if Darius is to get all of his rest. So I'm going to need the 3 watch groups for tonight.
Ruby and Zedaar, I think, are they up front?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm 2 for 2 natural ones tonight.
Oof. Honestly, our average rolls have been pretty crap. Well, mine have.
I mean, you've had some streaks of very, very good rolls, so it's about time that the luck kind of died out, like Blood Bowl.
Speak for yourself.
Shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
Speak for yourself.
Okay.
Ruby is going to be Zedaar, what do you think of this? And she shows him a picture, and it's got the picture of Darcy and the train behind it, little chimney stack, and a bunch of crossed out names, ideas for what we're going to call this. And one of them was Tricera shops.
I don't get it.
I think Zep would appreciate it. I think this is a great name. I think this is a great name for what we could call our store.
Can you translate it into Draconic? It doesn't make sense in common.
It's a play on common words. I don't think it would work in Draconic, but she will honestly attempt to translate it because she could speak Draconic.
Can you do idioms though?
It doesn't make any sense because that is not the name of the creature.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But Tricera shops work so good.
That's not even the name in common though. It's a 3-horn in common.
Work with me here.
Triceratops probably would be the draconic name of it. Thinking about
Is
it.
that okay?
Whereas three horn would be common, Triceratops would be the draconic. So I guess.
So it doesn't work in either language because it wouldn't be shop in Draconic.
No,
but
it
in
wouldn't be
common it would be 3-horn. So you're combining the Draconic and the common to make Tricera shop.
Yeah,
it works.
It's a bilingual idiom essentially.
Which those are the worst kinds of idioms because
No, nothing. You're just gonna.
I think there are better names for it.
All right, so we'll workshop it.
Oh my god.
I choose to believe this is why I rolled a natural 1 on my.
Yeah, sure. No, I can work with that.
You're
for sure.
cringing too much.
Workshop? What?
You'll-
A workshop here.
Your watch passes uneventfully. Group 2.
Uneventfully.
Well,
It was an endless punishment for
you
him.
didn't get attacked. Put it that way. Well, Zedaar did.
Being
But
personally attacked, emotionally and psychologically attacked.
who is watch group 2?
Chat, what do you think?
They don't get it.
Zep and Braun.
That doesn't get a vote.
No, do not Brendan Lee Mulligan this. Do not bring the chat or the comments into this. Like, but Zep, go ahead. Oh wow. Okay, Braun. Braun sees this and immediately points it out to you, Zep. Up in the field, where you guys have you've parked in a little off the beaten track, sort of in between some fields, and there's a bit of a rolling hill. Up the hill, you see, and it's hard to not notice at first, but you actually eventually see it. There's a little glow of dark green energy coming from atop the field. And Braun swears that he sees Joanna on top of the hill.
Is Joanna asleep where she is usually asleep?
You check and she is not.
I immediately take off to go and find where Joanna is.
So you head up. That's gonna be very loud. I apologize. Let's get that going. You head up the hill, and you kind of stop in your tracks as you see her. Ahead of you is Joanna, facing away, and around her is like an emanating glow of dark green light.
I am going to take out my detect magic device and just use some of my own powers to immediately charge it up. So I'm using a spell slot. And I wish to see what exactly this is.
This is... think... Sorry, I need to double check my magic schools.
Is this kind of like the device that Ghostbusters use?
Yeah. It has the little like radar dish on top.
Mordred never claimed that he was trying to be original.
No.
Not at all. I think this is... It's a bit of a mix. It seems to be a mix of evocation and abjuration.
Is there anyone else around?
No, it's just you three, essentially.
Braun, go and get Ruby now. Quickly.
Braun runs backwards. He goes, yeah, and starts running back towards the camp. Zach,
I'm just going to stay and watch, just like seeing what's happening, but not interrupting.
As you watch... Sorry, my music crashed right as I was trying to do this bit. As you... Okay, I've got some music coming back. That piece of music will do. Apologies for that. As you watch, she just seems to be calmly running the long grass of the field through her hand and humming to herself quietly. Unaware of a lot of her surroundings, it seems.
Does she seem to be sleepwalking at the moment?
Give me a perception check. You have dark vision as well, don't you?
I do, yes.
Yes. Then no disadvantage. She
18.
seems to be in a trance-like state that would resemble sleepwalking.
Okay, I will just keep an eye. I am not sure what to make of this. I need someone who is better trained.
Okay. Ruby, you awaken to Braun's cold metallic hand, waking you up. Sorry, miss. Come quickly. The girl is glowing.
Ruby will, with alacrity, get herself out of bed.
And leads you to where Zep is watching Joanna, who is in a trance-like state. Yeah, go ahead.
In a trance-like state. I have checked the surroundings. There is abjuration and invocation magic. I was concerned it might cause danger if we interrupt it.
Ruby's going to give it a good hard stare and try to arcana check what's going on.
Go ahead.
Can I assist with this?
Sure.
Oh, then I'll roll with advantage one more time. 16.
It seems like, from what you can tell, that the magical glow is somehow in her subconscious, whatever she's thinking about or dreaming about, has caused her to cast fairy fire on herself. But as for the abjuration, you don't know. There is no visible signs of what magic, like what effect is happening, but something else is happening according to this detect magic. But you're pretty sure the location is Fairy Fire.
I recognize some of it. It's fascinating. The girl manifests her magic through her mind, and if it's not even a conscious act, then it is remarkable.
The fact that she can do these kind of effects without a little paintball gun is really quite impressive.
Yes, sure. Well, let's see if I can wake her up. And Ruby will start to approach. She'll cast light on herself to kind of make everything glow a little bit brighter. Joanna?
As you, how close are you trying to get?
Oh, within 20 to 30 feet of her.
Okay. As you get closer, give me a perception check.
At night, so disadvantaged.
Very much so.
You have light, though.
Oh, actually, she is dimly light. She is dimly lit, so I will
okay.
cancel that out.
19.
As you approach, you notice in front of you there seems to be a shimmering wall between you and her.
Just put her hand up to it.
It feels like you could go through it, but the magic is intense and massively strong. And you're like, there's something in your lizard brain element, like your fight or flight comes in, is like, I should not push through this.
Lizard brain?
Apologies, that's kind of offensive to Zedaar. Sorry, there was always the description in biology of the fight or flight.
Reptilian brain.
Reptilian brain or lizard brain. So.
But she's got a mammal brain, so that doesn't make sense either.
True. Something in your subconscious says this is extremely dangerous, this line in front of you.
Don't touch it, kind of a thing?
Don't pass through it for sure.
Joanna, can you hear me?
She doesn't seem to be fazed by your talking.
Zep, go get the others.
Boss, go on. Go get the others. You are faster than I am.
And that's how delegation works, ladies and gentlemen.
Braun, without a second, just runs back to camp and starts waking everybody.
Braun calls out, Trick, wake up and get the other.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it tells my people to wake me up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, do I have anything I can do with this?
I could try to speak to her in Shelts. She might respond better to this.
While you're both there as well, both of you give me perception checks now that this has been noticed as well with advantage.
Can I keep my 19 or no?
No, a second one because this is just...
9.
14.
14. Okay, you beat the DC and you're pretty much, it's in your face, so that's fine. You're noticing that this slightly opaque haze is faintly changing color through various color. So it's going through various like spectrums of light, like light hitting a prism. You see it go through reds, greens, blues, violets. Each time shivering and crackling with a bit more of the, and you do see this Zep because of your spell. You see the abjurative magic like crackle through. It feels very odd. Like you feel like both of you with your brains, you feel like the magic should be stable and fitting one color, but that something is changing it. And the abjuration is flowing through this spell, this wall that's been created. And it seems it's almost like energy through a synapse.
Is it a spell that I might have heard of that has to deal with multicolors and likes to form in the form of a wall?
You have no clue. Maybe.
Interesting. Ruby's just gonna wait and watch. Just utterly fascinated by this.
But the rest of you are gathered. You see Zep and Ruby standing in front of a glowing Joanna. Braun also informs you that apparently there is a wall, but he can see, but is also in front of you. And after some time looking, you do notice the wall itself as well.
She is casting magic subconsciously and has formed a protective barrier around herself that, while it is penetrable, would be extremely dangerous to both life and body.
Zedaar is gonna pick up a rock and just gonna toss it at the barrier.
Okay, let's
See what
give me
happens.
somebody.
How fast does it ricochet, and who does it kill?
Sorry, Patrick. You've been useful.
Done your bit.
We don't need that anymore.
He had his arc. We don't need his character anymore.
So at the time the rock throws flew, you see the rock go through, hit the wall, and disappear.
Disappear as in it is now invisible, or disappear and is it or is like I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark?
Disappear as in portal gun, but you can't see the other side of the portal.
Oh.
Can I cast Mage Hand and send the Mage Hand against the wall?
Yeah. Okay. Let me roll.
Isn't it also invisible? So, all right, look for the Mage Hand on the other end.
No, but I can feel where it is.
Poking on the back of your head. Hey!
Okay. Is there a range to this?
30 feet, I think.
No, I'm not talking about the Mage Hand. I'm trying.
That's a dangerous thing for a DM to say. Is there a range on this?
Okay.
How many dice do I need?
That's one step below. What's the fallout of this?
Are you sure you want to do this?
You see the hand hit the wall, and as it goes through, it's like I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark, just breaks up in fire, and it's weird seeing a magical hand burn up in fire, but it breaks into fire, but does pass the wall.
Have it like tap her shoulder,
and then ceases to exist.
Okay. Well, non-magical items seem to just disappear. I don't. Oh, this is a good one to check. I get a stick, like a fairly large stick, like a, bludgeon length or something like that, and I just go up to it and I just push the stick through.
You do this, Darius, stop.
Oh. All right.
Let me do this. Gnomes have some natural resistances to magical effects.
Right, but which one of us is more likely to survive physical damage?
Or Mage Hand the stick into the wall.
But that could have conflict. That could have a conflict. I'm saying non-magical, like completely non-magical. Just see if it goes through.
What spell was on the stone that was thrown? Just out of curiosity, then.
I just put one on the stone. I just threw a rock.
Stone creation.
I cast throw stone.
Yeah, the most basic of magics, existence.
So you're trying to test. I mean, we've already tested the mundane.
Because Zedaar is the one without sand.
No, we saw it just disappear, and
what are you doing? What are you doing?
We saw it disappear. I want to see if it. I want to push it. I want to push it through slightly and then pull it back, and I want to see if it just disappears where as far as it went, or if it comes back with.
Give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Dexterity saving throw. All right, I'm okay at these. Saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
18.
Okay, you managed to drop the stick in time as it bursts into flame.
All right, so we've learned something. The stone was a fluke. The fire is the base. That's normal.
I'm going to cast Ray of Frost. I'm going to cast Ray of Frost at the wall.
Okay. Roll damage, please.
She does, in fact, know Ray of Frost.
It seems so counter
Why?
Ruby.
just in case.
To fix mistakes.
Was she going through a cold phase at that point? Was that what it was?
This is fixing mistakes.
It's still in keeping because cold burns.
That's
I was more thinking it's
Knowing what I know about Ruby,
That's a heavy
that doesn't
stretch.
follow.
That's a stretch.
this is just the exhaust from all the fire. This is the cold venting.
Got to balance it out sometime.
No, this is a lesson I learned from Blake's game. I made a fire mage, and the first dungeon I went into was a fire giant temple.
That
Roll
tempo was
damage,
built before
please.
you made the character. I take no fault in that.
I learned my lesson. Roll damage, you said? I'm sorry?
Yes, please.
Please don't kill Joanna.
I see.
I'd aim at the wall, not Joanna.
The wall crackles. The ice hits the wall and crackles out. And let's see what time you hit the wall.
Time you hit the wall.
Well,
You hit the wall before it existed.
the it crackles out and it just passes straight through, and the ice just essentially crusts into like a cone and hits the ground. But you do see sort of Zep sees this, sorry, with his detect magic, that it like as the ice hit, the synaptic energy sort of froze and stopped moving, and now you've seen that the wall has stopped changing color.
Wall has stopped changing color. The nature of the shifting magics has condensed, solidified.
And Zedaar, you'll notice with your natural perception, and so will Braun. You guys notice that Joanna seems to be shivering and holding herself like she's cold.
Interesting.
I'm not waiting anymore. I'm going to charge to the wall.
Okay.
No!
No, he's not waiting anymore. He's going through.
As he's going, I'm going to cast Sanctuary on him.
Okay. What does Sanctuary do?
The wall needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
To attack him?
Well,
and it protects you from being individually attacked. It doesn't stop a fireball.
Doesn't stop
Okay.
AoE.
Doesn't.
So-
That's the best thing I can think of.
Okay, we stopped on a 7. So, Zedaar, please make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, I'm technically really good at these.
Automatically going to fail because you said that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was going to a 4.
What was it?
Going to a 4.
What was it? Sorry, I'm tabbed out.
21.
21. Ooh. So this was against Joanna's DC.
You just body Joanna to the ground. Is that what happens right now?
No, and as you walk through, you feel this effect encroaching on your mind, and almost like your eyes start like clouding, and you start, instead of seeing Joanna in front of you, you see a different location in front of you, and it like sort of blowing into your vision at the edges of your eyes, in the corner of your eyelids. You see pure brilliant frost and plains of ice, but you steel your mind and you pass through the wall, and behind you the wall crackles and falls. Zep, you see that the abjuration has ended, and also is what you see is Joanna just kind of flops and is not moving on the ground in front of Zedaar. Zedaar, what are you doing?
Very quickly, I'm just gonna make sure she's alive.
She is. She seems to be fast asleep.
Checking her. She's not like getting hypothermic because she said she looked like she was freezing, right?
You give me a quick medicine check.
Medicine check. Bahamut guide my hand. Uh, 13.
She's a bit cold to the touch, but you feel like the life force within her is starting to warm her back up. Whatever cold effects passed with the dispelling of the wall.
He'll just kind of scoop her up and turn back to the group and start making ways back. I think she's going to be fine.
The wall has fallen. You should be safe to pass.
Also,
Yes.
I should note that the fairy fire on her also faded.
Do you have any idea what caused this?
A manifestation of her power. As best as I can tell, it comes from her mind. Subconsciously, she is... I can see why they call her a weapon. If she's able to cast spells of this caliber without even trying.
Yes, that is a concern.
When my power first manifested, I had similar incidents, although nothing quite as grand as this. Accidentally lighting things on fire from time to time. Remarkable. Fascinating, really. We should get her back home and keep bearing in mind that we have things to do tonight.
Tomorrow.
Never mind, tomorrow.
We have one more day in town.
Mm-hmm.
This made this a lot more complicated, Midge. I hope you're happy.
We might be able to workshop the name, because I think Triceratops is an amazing name.
Oh, that sounds horrid.
That sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Everybody just looks at Valmir.
No.
Final group, please give me, unless there's any other conversation to have to get tonight. With that in tow, other group, final group, give me your watch. Wow. Just before the party's normal awakening,
I actually got 21. I rolled the wrong dice.
That's awesome. Even better. You notice the two of you. You see two along the road. You see two grey robed with this grey robes with like a gold trim around like the upper hooded region of the robe, and you see them coming along the road. And Darius, you notice these to be ecclesiastical agents.
Right. Do they look like they're trying to...
They're heading your way.
With intent, or just... We're in the way of a patrol path?
Like cops have pulled someone over.
Okay.
I'm gonna make myself look human then.
Okay.
Sir, you're parked in the middle of a freeway.
You say it is free, then we will stay.
God. I hate you so much. I hate all of you so much.
No, I love it. Keep going.
No, it's D&D. The persuasion check might work.
Lambert, they come up to you first because you're on that side, and one of them shows this holy symbol. It's like a sword with a star around it, and across it's got his name and a series of numbers like engraved. And he goes, Lewis Searson, ecclesiastical agent. Do you guys have the proper notification on licensing for this trade caravan?
I would assume that the trade master would. I am mere guard, so it is not for my personal knowledge. Perhaps if you come back when it is not the middle of the night, you can ask him.
It's a routine check, and so it is well within our jurisdiction to search you at this time. So
I'm accepting of that. I'm just saying it maybe not the most ideal time. Not that you do not have the right to.
I understand that the time might not be ideal, sir, but if we always turned up at the ideal time, it would make it far easier to, for those of less scrupulous means, not saying that you and your caravan are, it would give them an easier journey, and we would not want that. So if you wouldn't mind waking the trade master, that would be fantastic.
Excuse me, sir, are you harassing one of my guards?
I'm not harassing ecclesiastical agent. My name's Lewis Searson, badge number 37251. I'm here to do a routine check of your caravan for any. We've had reports come in of various goods being trafficked through this town, and we're just doing some general checks here. So if you wouldn't mind bringing over the acquirement documents and any other paperwork you had.
I'm not the trade master. I'm the guard master for this trade caravan. Hello, Darius Renard, Sir Darius Renard Mercenary Company. Probably heard of us.
Yep. We have heard of you.
Yes.
I
am the captain of the guard for this trade caravan.
They'd be the first.
Mercenary license, please.
I produce it because I definitely have that.
You do have that. You do have that.
I definitely have that. It's signed in triplicate. It's got a stamp on it.
And your contract number for this particular job, please.
That would probably be with the home office where I signed out, because we would need to. So we're on our way there, or we're going to be on our way there. We're trading off, where I'm probably going to be giving this job over to my brother. You've probably heard of him, commander of the first company, Nicola Renard.
Your Nicola's brother? Oh,
yes. Yes.
It's weird. You don't look a bit like him.
Yes, all of us different mothers.
Well,
it's
do you
surprising.
have
Literally every single one, a different mother.
Do you have a different? Do you have a badge number? We can call ahead to the office. If you can give us a reference number.
Darius Renard. Son of Tormund Renard, the leader of the company.
Okay, and the paperwork number, though, so we can check.
That will get you what you need. He's quite literally, I am the son of the individual who owns the entire thing.
Do a record search. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Quite literally.
And the trade master, if you will, please.
He just got done. He's been up all night. He's trying to get a full sleep. We're going to be rolling out of here. Literally, this is our last day here before we're rolling out. We're just letting our beast of burden. You've probably noticed it. Stay away from it. It's kind of touchy. And we're letting it rest, and then we're going to be rolling out in the at the end of tomorrow. Or I guess it is the morning now, so at the end of tonight. Today. Time's fickle.
Okay, so we'll just wait here till he wakes up then, if you don't mind.
It's going to take a while.
He clicks his quill.
Are you dabbing it with his thumb? I mean,
no, it's one of those. It's a self-inking.
It's a mechanical quill. Like,
I heard that. You can hit the rim shot. I heard that rim shot. I hate you.
I've also got this on demand.
But have you licensed them?
Those are the free versions. Those
Yeah,
are
Shit, we need that from Valmir's rolls.
We also get them through
Hey, I've
Syrinscape
rolled real
anyway.
well today.
You have today.
So
No, those were for me. My 2 natural ones to start the session.
Thank you.
To be fair, quite literally, when you were just rolling very badly and the puns were going around, I thought I'm gonna put that on my sample board. I'm gonna use those. So yeah, I've got access.
Well, no, for my puns, you need cricket noises.
No, this is what we need for the puns.
It's a good one.
Oh god.
but
put that on
they're
there.
just gonna wait there. They're happy to wait.
All right. I am going to engage them in the boringest form of small talk that I can for upwards of 5 hours, if I can do so.
And Darius can talk, so you know this is gonna happen.
Talk about random subjects in fine detail that would bore the pants off everybody. I'm trying to make their existence.
I'm gonna
Pain.
make them both make wisdom saving throws. Because
This is like being given a crash course in the bureaucracy
So-
of Futurama.
I know what I am.
Lewis Searson is completely fine, but the other one is getting very irritated, and you see he kind of walks off a little bit and he's just like spinning his badged holy symbol, and getting rather irritated.
Darius takes the social cue and runs with it, and specifically goes to him as if he's the one that he's trying to talk with directly.
Okay, it's, you see the man cast something, and then he's fine.
Right.
But
I can't beat magic.
you can't beat magic.
No, I can't beat
You all
magic.
awake slowly throughout the morning. You see that there are two
I'm assuming at some point
robed
Valmir
individuals.
breaks line of sight.
I don't know.
He's only got an hour.
Are you doing anything?
Don't you
yeah.
only have an hour of everything?
I'm doing my patrols around the caravan.
And every time you
I'm
go
going-
past one of the caravans, you just up and down your spell.
It'd be better if you look different. So it just
Ever so slightly. There's just an extra grey beard in
Just
the
an extra
beard.
grey
No,
beard.
so it looks like there's
an
more
extra.
guards. So it looks
to
like there's
pull
more
down
guards.
how long they feel like they've been here. Every time he cuts the ground, he's a little older, and a little older, and a little older.
Are we gaslighting these people?
Definitely, yes.
Um,
Are we the bad guys?
Yes.
but you,
Are we the bad guys?
And-
We're doing business with somebody who definitely murdered someone else last night.
And now, completely unprovoked, you're provoking guards that are just doing their job.
Yes, but they were dicks about it, so I feel justified.
They have to be professional. It's their job.
but and he every time he sees a new one of you as you wake up, so I'm looking for. My name's Lewis Searson, and he gives his badge number, and I'm looking for the trade master. I just want to look over your documentation, make sure everything's square here, and then we can move on.
Right, master.
I'm sure my fellow guard already told you that his trade master is asleep. And he will get to you when he wakes.
We're willing to wait. We're just
Yeah,
making sure.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that as soon as he wakes up, he knows where to go and talk to you. I'm going to make a note and I'm going to put it right outside of his tent. And I write up a quick note saying, fake documents quickly, guards outside, Zep.
Give me a sleight of hand
quick.
check.
Well, I'm doing this outside of their line of sight. I'm going to the tent, which
Give
I'm
me a
assuming
like,
is.
give-
What time are we at now, by the way? Like, is it still dark and everything
this is
out?
more. This is now heading. It's been put off for hours now, so this is like 9 a.m.
Okay.
We are the last watch.
You've got full rest. I will give you a full rest in game.
Because me, Mordred doesn't know what this would require. Zep most certainly would. So what is required here?
Just gonna put that on the inside of the tent flap quietly. It's done. It's done.
So I still want that slight hand check.
I already rolled it.
Oh, 12. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I missed it because of the long rest and the turn thing. So You're correct. Zep would know. They're probably looking to see any purchase like documents, like receipts, and sale information, like the standard exchange sort of stuff. Looking to see where you've come from, if you've got any travel documentation, etc., etc. Just making sure everything's above board.
Yeah, so the only thing that Zep right now has is his guild letter of introduction, which I'm guessing would be enough to establish him as a Skyspan.
Mm-hmm.
Could just start waving it closed up at him and be very angry. Like, do the...
Wave it
And
as his
you have
knee.
been writing receipts as well, so you do have receipts. You just don't have anything proving where you bought all the alcohol.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a plan for this, because it's going to keep happening. You just say like,
Okay,
oh,
so
I
I will-
lost in a fire or
I
something.
will eventually emerge from my tent, looking very tired and somewhat well rested, with a bit of fuzzy hair, so it is clear that I have actually been asleep. Because he did not think this is his problem, but apparently it is. So, hello. I am Zep Skyspan. I believe you wanted to hear from the one responsible for the T.I.T.H.E in this caravan.
Apologies, Mr. Skyspan, for the early morning. Of course, my name is I'm with the I'm with T.I.T.H.E. I'm an ecclesiastical agent. My name is I'm Senior Agent Louis Searson. This here is my partner Roy. We're gonna be we're just doing a routine check here. We've got a lot of trade coming through, and also we've had a lot of issues in the area recently with below board trade and a lot of criminal activity. So we're just making sure that everything's okay here. So apologies for the early morning, but I think you understand the need for the check at this hour.
Yeah, of course, it is very responsible for those who are responsible for ensuring the proper flow of trade. I understand.
And the trade must flow, of course. So if you have any documents of sale, receipts, purchase, anything of the sort, would you mind showing us your ledger books, for example?
Yeah,
just
of
wanna make
course.
sure
So
that,
this is a letter of introduction and will serve as the identification for myself. I am Zep Skyspan of the Skyspan Shipyards, based in Lederungsland. You can find that our headquarters is in Kristallhafen. And these we have here are some of the receipts of sale that we have acquired throughout our journeys here.
And do you have a copy of your mercenary hire contract for the Reynard Company?
I do not. That would have been done through my uncle.
Okay. All external then hires. Okay. No problem. It's just more paperwork back at the end, but it won't affect your day. Do you have a receipt of purchase for any of this? And the other one, Roy kind of clinks the barrel and goes, I think we got booze, sir. Alcohol.
It is whiskey of different grades. Unfortunately, the receipt of the ledger of purchase was burned when we were attacked by anarchists on the road here. But if you would like us to establish a new purchase document, I would be more than happy to speak to the
It came out of nowhere.
Give me a deception check with advantage, because you've told a half-truth in it, and that's a very clever way of swinging your story.
The best lies have a grain of truth in them.
When he's doing this, I'm behind the caravan, hearing him, and I'm going to come out with like a half-burned face.
As a different person or the same person?
Different person with a bit of a burn on his face.
Right, this was deception, right?
This is like Scooby-Doo chase, where someone's going in one door and coming out the same door. It's like, yeah, it's deception.
How much is all the rounds?
Look, you don't just hire one mercenary. It's a mercenary company.
30 guards at this point.
Yeah, but you're clown carring into the same tent at points. It's like, where did the people go? Like, 9. Okay.
Remember, they've been here for hours, and they are.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna roll for it.
Mentally drained.
Problem is, This
We're
guy
just
lives
yelling
for his job.
Dianetics or whatever it was at us.
Anarchist, you say? Was that over in Akron Parish?
I do not know the name of the parish itself, but it was by the town of No Whiskey.
Akron
Just outside of
Parish,
it on the road
okay.
here.
It's by a waterway specifically.
Sir, yes, it was.
Yes.
It was at Akron Parish, sir. Yes.
I'm gonna need you guys to just the mercenaries, please wait here. Mr. Skyspan, I'm sorry to disrupt your day a bit further, but I would, if you wouldn't mind, coming with me back down to the constabulary. We need to check a few things here.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sorry. Part of my contract does stipulate that I have to make sure he is okay, and that does stipulate that he can't really go. I have to be around him. I don't want to break my contract specifically.
Yes, but
on here.
mercenaries enacting within the Rienian Empire have to abide by Rienian law, and this is Rienian law. So I would request that you do not, step over the line here. Hired.
Shall I accompany him? I am not a mercenary for this organization. I am merely a traveling cleric. Am I not within my right to accompany somebody who may be in need?
Make a persuasion check.
I can't pray to Bahamut in the middle of this, and I have a +0 to this.
I am merely a traveling cleric.
4.
As
Zarf
a-
fits every single box of traveling cleric.
No, he does. He does.
Just pointing out, has anyone got any? Just a reminder, some of you do still have inspiration, but
I used it.
as a fellow man of the cloth, you will understand that some things are best left in the hands of justice to decide out. And
It is okay, Zedaar. I can finish this.
It is at this point that Ruby will.
Don't forget your mechanical assistant, sir.
It is at this point that Ruby will walk out. Zep, honey, do you need any assistance?
Oh,
You can see that we have quiet.
All 10 of us, even the NPCs, just. I mean, just Sarah. I'm sorry, Darcy. Even the
roll for poker face.
is this your wife, sir?
She is not a wife. She is my traveling companion.
I see. Well, if your companions wouldn't mind waiting,
Accountant.
we'll return you.
You don't want Ruby doing your accounting.
Why do you think the accounts have been burned?
It's like that Breaking Bad episode where Skylar pretends to be stupid for that guy. It's like you can pretend to be an idiot and he won't get in trouble around
Look,
the law.
I'm sure that this is just a small mix-up with the paperwork. We just need you to come down and answer a few more questions.
Yep. Lead on, please. I am happy to get this done as quickly as possible. I have business elsewhere.
Okay, so they lead
Damn
you.
it, Zep, you couldn't lie for 1 minute.
They lead you down to the constabulary. And as they walk down the road, is anyone else doing anything?
Right. So what happens if we have to break him out?
So Darcy's gonna wait like 10 minutes, and then he's gonna go down to the constabulary anyways.
Okay. Fine. But with that as well, we will take our midpoint break here. So
I was gonna come from that. I was gonna
Fine.
do this anyways. I'm not gonna lie, guys.
yeah, no, absolutely. Guys watching, please use this time, grab yourself a drink, use the bathroom if you need to, and we'll be back in a moment's time.
Is
So, welcome back, everybody. We left off last time with Zep being taken to the local constabulary by 2 ecclesiastical agents. And then, after about 10 minutes, Zedaar beginning to follow, and I'm guessing other members of the party also following.
Yeah.
Ruby's going to stay with Joanna.
Okay, you're going to stay back? No problem.
It isn't important. You're just keeping an eye on her.
I imagine I'd probably stick around Darius at this point.
Okay. But Zep, you're brought into the constabulary. It's a stone brick building, single floor, and there seems to be local constables inside, and the agents kind of, as you go in, they nod at the guy at the desk and said, "We're going to take room. We're going to take room number 3," and they lead you to what seems to be a single room with a table. And they said, "Please, Mr. Skyspan, take a seat."
Does this look like an interrogation room?
Very much so.
Okay. When you led me here, I was under the impression it was for a chat, but this is looking like an interrogation now. Should I not have some kind of legal representation?
What do you think? I think this is the United States.
If you believe that you require someone to guide you on ecclesiastical law, then absolutely, you're by all means. But we are just having a chat. This is just we're not obviously part of the same department as the local constabulary. This is just one of the rooms that we could get.
I understand. I am unfamiliar with ecclesiastical law. It is different, obviously, from Lederungsland, and I am recently arrived here.
If only the cleric asked if he could come along to help with this, and they turned him away. That's like telling the lawyer, no, you're not allowed to see your client.
Yep. Yes, it is.
As this is a matter of theology as well as mercantile law, I would feel much more comfortable to have my clerical acquaintance joining me here.
Which is very within your right. Roy, would you go get the cleric from the camp? And then halfway down the road,
Halfway down, yeah.
You meet Roy, who goes, Master Skysman is asking for your assistance.
Oh, so now I am allowed to go with him to help my individual friend.
Well, it was originally a chat, and then he decided that he wanted some ecclesiastical legal advice, and that is within his right to request.
Good. I was going to the constabulary anyways.
Very well. And he walks you to the constabulary, and 10 minutes or so later, Zep, in walks Zedaar.
It's good to see you, Zedaar.
I'm going to quickly, hold on, do I have this spell prepared today? I better have this spell prepared today. I don't have enhanced ability prepared today because we didn't have a chance to prepare spells. Never mind.
Well, we did have the long...
You've had a long rest, so you do have... You've had a chance to prepare spells.
We had a couple hours where we were just waiting for Zep to wake up, remember?
Yes, so you have had
You're
a
right,
chance.
we did have an hour or two before we just... Okay, so we'll very quickly prepare that just so I can have intelligence at advantage in case I need to do something with that. Good. All right. I'm good to go.
Forgive the formality, my friend. I was given to understand this was simply a casual chat, but this is clearly have become an interrogation now.
I offered to come along and I was turned away. That is concerning.
We, of course, didn't mean anything by it. It's just standard procedure. This was just going to be a chat, but Master Skyspan has well within his right to request legal representation at any time in ecclesiastical matters. So, Master Skyspan, where were you on the...
May I just ask one question? What deity is it that you follow exactly?
Oh, myself, I'm actually a... let's see which one he is.
The almighty bureaucracy, sir.
This is something that I would like to understand. So you're ecclesiastical agents. I apologize. I'm from Atria, and my knowledge of such things is not so specific to your regional tendencies. Is it that you all follow, your organization follows one deity, or you're just made up of clerical agents of many different deities?
Well, the agency itself is made up predominantly we have members of the religion of the king who shall not be named, but anyone, any cleric of the Pantheon of Albe may become an ecclesiastical agent and work in the good of the combined faith of the Pantheon. I myself am a ardent follower of. Sorry.
I am an ardent follower of processing.
Yes,
I'm sorry. You said the primary worship for this organization was the king who will not be named?
Yeah, the king that never was.
The king that never was. I will write that.
I am actually a follower of Caphriel the Law Singer. And I believe my partner here is a follower of Lathander.
I see.
But without further ado, Mr. Skyspan, you say you came across, you bought these on your travels within the Rhiannon Empire? The barrels, I mean.
Look over as a door.
I think we should clear this up at this point.
Oh, for the love of God.
These barrels were purchased. They were given to us as salvage for the job we did in Norwich Sea. The constabulary was tasked by the local breweries because many of the barrels were being stolen along the river. On our travels, we encountered the bandits who were stealing it, and we subdued them. They were a local of brigands who were attempting to upset the rule of the breweries in Norwich Sea by using it to create weapons of anarchy. He says that word like he doesn't quite understand the meaning of it in common.
These were the anarchists I spoke of when we spoke earlier.
As part of it, when we found the storehouse, the guard said we were allowed to take whatever we could take with us. As reward, the barrels are not expected back in Norwich Sea.
Give me a persuasion check, by the way, with advantage on this.
Oh boy. I should have taken persuasion proficiency with Zedaar, damn it. Hold on.
Having to do a lot of it, so maybe.
Come on.
I do. He's a talker.
Karma says that you're gonna. Karma gave you that. You paid for that natural 20 with all the shit before.
Adventurers. Okay. Roy, get me one of the pink forms. You know, the subsection plural alpha ones. Yeah, please. Cool.
I hate these people every time. Like more and more every time they talk.
They're actually a horrible mix of like religion, Guard Force, and the DMV. That was one of the evil powers in my world that I made.
Now serving C22 at window number 5.
Okay. Under canon law, subsection 3 of the Pantheon of Alba, adventurers are entitled to loot. However, you need to add a local temple. Make sure you fill out one of the registry forms. Now, my friend here is going to get you one of those while we also corroborate your story. Mr. Skyspan, you yourself have a mercantile background, as I can see by your guild letter responsibility. In future, I would level maybe... How to put this politely? Just use your... use your guild reputation for the means meant for it, rather than trying to skirt around it. And I think it makes all of our days a little bit easier.
But you ambushed me, right, out of my own bed. How did you think that we would respond in this situation?
The fault here lies with me. As I said, I am not super familiar with the rules of traveling in this country. As I said, I am from the Triumvirate of Atria. That is not something that is required there. When I took the job from the guard, he did not make me aware that such things would be required. The fault is mine.
The fault is equally mine. I was not aware of the mercantile requirements in this town, in this region. We are an adventurer band. We are not a trade caravan. I am simply the one responsible for the monetary issues.
Are you, is this adventuring band are you a subsidiary of the Reynard Company? If not, I'm just trying to work out who we're going to levy the tithe from.
I would say the tithe is levied, to us. We are the adventurers here.
Okay.
We may have connections to other organizations, but any responsibility is ours.
Roy returns with the form, and you see this green dyed piece of paper, and the agent starts filling it out.
Zedaar looks confused.
It's my common. I thought you said he was supposed to return with you a pink form.
Sorry, it's a pink form. Look, I just took some more paracetamol.
Roy, what is this?
That just seemed like the best joke to make at the time. It's like, wait a second, does common mean the same thing? I'm confused.
That is pink.
That's a better story. He sends him back for the other. Sorry, it's a junior agent. He's kind of new. Can I get anyone a hot drink, coffee?
That's quite all right. I fully understand. We are all learning in the process here, and I hope that we can get this resolved quickly.
Okay, and he finally comes back with the correct form, and he fills it out, and is okay. So at the sign here with the name of your band, if you have one. If not, just say collective of mercenaries headed by, and then probably yourself, Mr. Zedaar, unless you are not the highest status member of your particular band. And then if once the barrels will be marked by 3 agents, and we will track the sales of said barrels from here on out, and any extra record of the loot is though we'll send some people to go make add it to our ledgers, and then if you can make your tithe to the next either the church in town here or one of our many temples within the region, that's fine. And the tithe is 10% of any loot found within the Rielian Empire.
So agreeable. Taxes must be paid in order to keep the routes of trade open.
Precisely. And he offers
Ruby,
you
Ruby rolls her eyes from 3 miles away.
He gives you a piece of paper to sign.
If you would provide me with another piece of paper, I can provide you with a map of where exactly these events transpired, if you wish to check that way.
That would be very useful for our own investigations into the anarchists. And he gives you a piece of paper to transcribe on.
Use my proficiency in cartography to make a nice map.
A bureaucrat with drive. He's the most dangerous thing in the world.
While they're doing that, Zedaar, this has been so long at this point. Zedaar will make a point of actually informing him who the leader of the anarchists was. The guy, and the fact that he's like, yeah, no, it was this guy. His name was, I think it was Harvey.
Yep.
It was Harvey.
Can it be that we don't remember? Can it be that
The leader of the insurrectionists was a man named Harvey. Apparently, he was a student of some local institution that felt passionately about the plights of the brewers at Nordic Sea.
We've been monitoring the local institutions, unfortunately, and in non-ecclesiastical studies, places of study do tend to attract this sort of I hate using the word, but it's that kind of
you lawful good or lawful
all along.
snitch?
This person is
Seriously, y'all.
lawful neutral. This particular god for this.
So he doesn't even
I'm talking to
know what he's doing. He just cares about the letter of the law. That's all that matters.
Yep.
He is born to be a bureaucrat.
Kafriel, the law singer, the goddess of civilization, balance, and laws.
Oh, I'm talking about Zedaar, lawful snitch.
Yeah.
Lawful snitch is good.
Doris
Stitches,
is lawful
bitches.
good. He hates these people. There has to be some temperance here.
Zedaar's
You
not
can't-
even lawful good. He's just neutral good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think Zep's lawful good. I don't actually have it written down. Which is weird.
No, I
we
think
we
you're- I
did
think
the
you're pretty
test
good.
and it came up. Zedaar came back so lawful good, it hurt.
Yeah, you
that's
were
just
even more
the-
lawful good than I was.
Oh, it's just
Yeah.
the nature of the questions.
Oh no, I'm neutral good. Not lawful.
Neutral good. But either way, basically, just to Roach, just to so you understand, or these guys are the ATF of.
I know.
Yeah, cool.
And as a military, as basically a private military organization, which is what the Renard Company is, we don't like them.
No,
They
not
get
at
in the
all.
way.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have constantly been, tithing any work you do within the Iranian Empire.
I know. I know. I pay my taxes.
But yes, he gives you the forms and he lets you go on your way. Again, sorry for any misunderstanding. I understand that Allegrons Lander also may not be accustomed with canonic law in this region, but yes, all adventurers have to pay a tithe to the local church, for the good of the community.
I understand. Is there anything else we should be aware of? You would be a good font of information for this.
Is there anything I can particularly help you with, sir? Are you looking to formalize the company in any way, shape, or form? We have proceedings
Would
on how
be
to do.
useful if we could have that kind of representation. Yeah.
Yeah, well, legally binding naming and contracting can be dealt with at your local temple. Just go to one of the you can find members of the. Hold on.
Go to window B, and I can request a form 451A. It's gonna be a green form.
The only thing worse than a bureaucrat, a person who knows the system and is willing to play it.
If you go towards the acolyte
be signed
department,
with a number 2
it's
quill.
they're normally the acolytes and acquisitions department. It'll be the same place where you will pay the tithe. They tend to be in either a separate house building of the temple grounds or attached in a sub-wing of the temple. You can normally see them by their similar robes to ours, but instead of grey with gold trim, it is grey with red trim.
Okay, I have one final question for you. Because we will be undertaking actions of a mercantile nature in the proper transference of the loot, is there a place where I could pay my guild dues? Because I have not yet seen a Skyspan shipyard branch.
I mean, temples can handle postal service of monetary transactions, and or you could go to a bank and they could also send that. But Skyspan payment, you're a guild member within Legoring's land, and your guild dues would be due there. So it would be a case of sending off those guild dues.
In that case, this is the 1 gold piece I owe for this month.
Just hand that in when you hand in this form and any future forms that you need to at the temple. Have a wonderful day, and we'll speak to you. We'll send agents to catalogue your current loot.
Well, thank you very much for your assistance here. One other question. Because the goods that we have been looted, is there a way of tracking ownership so that we can offload them in the future cities? As I said earlier, I have lost my own book of purchases.
Well, if you set yourself up with a company name, you could probably get a company receipt book from the temple. They would sort that out. You could use that. Failing that, if you have other means of sale, as long as we get our tithe, we don't really mind.
I understand. It
It's
is all about the money.
It's always the money.
Well, I must thus say thank you very much for your assistance in this. I am very pleased that we have straightened all of this out.
Yeah, next time with the members of the agency, just be more forthcoming. But thank you for your cooperation in the end. And he lets you go on your way.
I just had one more question on the unrelated nature. Recently, a friend of ours was approached and questioned about the relationship with an individual known as Clarence. I'm not entirely sure his last name or what he is being searched for. I'm just curious what it is that he is currently being considered guilty of.
doing?
Lewis's eyes like light up and slightly glow. With a smile, he says, Clarence Rowe is wanted on 32 counts of smuggling, 14 counts of illicit trading, and 9 counts of tax evasion.
Oh. So you're saying he is like us, but like... Mr. Arch likes to do some counting on his finger.
Why would you lead with that? Why would you lead with that?
12 times
I'm
what?
going to kind of look at Zedaar like, what?
So he's like us? What?
That is what they believed we were doing.
Worse than Valmir making a sale.
Is that not what they thought we were going to be guilty of?
Ruby's just gonna keep drinking her wine somewhere.
Quit with peanut gallery. Let's do this.
Mr. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. What was your name?
I am Zedaar.
Zedaar. The difference is you are a mercenary company. The rules are a little bit more grey area lax because mercenaries and adventurers can come and go between nations, whereas Clarence Rowe is a citizen of a nation with a job, with a tithe to pay already, and then is doing illicit gains on top of that without registering it as a company, and then also trading in goods that have been taken from others, and it's far worse than anything you've done. Do you happen to know anything about this person?
Well, there was some mention potentially that he may have been responsible for the person who turned up dead the other day.
A Mr. Amos Blaggs, who was a suspected associate, and also an informant for the tithe for us. The one that was found in the center of town with the word pig, rat, carved into his chest, yes?
Yes, I was not aware of that part.
If you do have any information on the whereabouts of Clarence Rowe, there could be a handsome reward in it for you and your adventurers.
Then that may be work that we are willing to do for you, to bring this heinous individual to justice.
Roy, get the door. Let's talk business.
Like halfway out, like...
Oh my God!
It's the Zedaar's turn to cause problems for the group, damn it. We've had Darius. Ruby set the boat on fire. It's the Zedaar's turn.
Is Clarence the Miller man?
Yes, he's the Miller. He's the Miller.
He was the guy we were going to trade with, but we're not going to now.
Wait, can we still get the bonds though?
No!
What do you mean no?
No! We just show up, take the payment, and leave, and we give nothing back.
No. We hide the ecclesiarchy in the barrels.
We can't go near a miller or a windmill or anywhere in any town for over 100 miles, because you know what's gonna happen? There's gonna be a knife in our gut, because all they've seen so far is we've went like, yes, we will make illegal deal with you, and then the next morning half our trade caravan goes in the fucking sheriff's office, and then they're gonna break down the doors, and then it's gonna be like,
I like the idea of let's just put a bunch of constabulary in the barrels, so when they come to get it, it's just like, this is a sting.
Yes. And also we get the bonds.
Okay, so... Mr. Zedaar, if you can provide us with any information or help us in the apprehension of Clarence Rowe, we can definitely sort out something.
At this point, Zedaar will look at Sepp like, is this something we do want to... I just feel like, considering that we are in this shape, we want to do right by this, yes?
I actually have no idea what you are talking about. Sepp was quite express in saying, I want nothing to do with this, and quite expressly walked away when this stuff was being discussed.
Well,
so
sorry.
Sepp has no idea.
All right, Zedaar. Okay, let's go through with this.
The decision is yours, my friend. I trust your judgment on whatever this is.
I would just wanted your moral opinion, not your professional one. To see if bringing an individual like this to justice would be the right thing to do.
If he is a smuggler and someone who affects the proper flow of trade, of course.
We also, if it helps, we can we believe they're tied to a number of local violent killings, but we have since had no real proof of it, despite other than hearsay and nothing that can stick. However, if we can get them on these charges, we might be able to bring them in for the rest of the charges later, such as the murder.
Well, when we were looking for an individual to do business with here in the town, this was a name that was brought up to us. I do not believe we were aware of the illicit dealings beforehand, but this was a potential to trade with. We are supposed to meet them later tonight or to drop off the barrels for payment. So it is potential that he may be there and you may be able to catch him in the act of doing so.
His eyes, he can't hide it. He's just grinning. You were selling your barrels to Clarence Rowe and you're setting to do a drop tonight.
That was going to be our intention. Roach or kill me.
Make a deal for it. I'll make a deal.
You're committing crimes. The goods are legit now.
No, that's not what he's doing at all.
You give us the location and complete the handoff. Walk away with the money and pay your tithe. And we'll handle the rest.
Is there any sort of paperwork that we need to assure that this is going to work out the way we want it to?
You're adventurers as long as you pay the tithe on the now tracked goods. The rest of it will be handled by us.
This sounds like something that we should be able to do then.
Very good. Roy, we're going to need 2 assault teams and a task force if we're going to be able to get Clarence Rowe.
2 assault teams and a task force. Ooh-wee.
And, well, Mr. Zedaar offers to shake your hand.
He'll shake his hand.
Okay. Just make sure you make the tithe, or we'll be after you.
I will make a note of it, specifically.
Okay. You are free to go.
Zedaar's flaw came into place. I trust people in their religion. So as we're leaving, Zedaar will just kind of look at his episode and say, I apologize that you got dug into this, but I wanted to clean my hands of this matter for some time now.
I'm quite happy. We now have legitimate ownership of the whiskey, which means we can sell it for full price.
And we can potentially even bring a bad doer to justice in the process.
A bonus.
I do not think we need to tell the others that this is going to occur, and that we can just let it be known.
No! No!
So, Ruby, Valmir, and Darius, you're still at camp, and you see many agents appear and start casting spells on the barrels, and one of them comes up to you, Darius. So we got an order here for a thing. I need you to sign here, here, and here. This is a tracking order of looted goods for an adventuring party to be registered at your next convenience at a temple. Tithes to be paid later once sale of goods gained is complete, or transfer of some of the goods as tithe is also available. This is already being undertaken by Mr. Zepp Skyspan. We just need to confirm to you that you've seen agents here committing, operating within task force guidelines. Load of spiel just at you.
You know, they always say, just come to us, it's all fine. But then, you know, as soon as you do, you have 3 companies of men on a border that can't go to war for 5 months, and then it's stuck there, and you just... It's just all paperwork for the whole time.
But by about 20 minutes later, Zepp and Zedaar return.
Hey guys!
Oh wait,
hang on. I was going to say, while I'm at the temple, I'm going to undertake to register as an official adventuring company.
Okay, what would you like to put the name down as?
Yeah, Zap.
And the name be changed later.
He's like, oh shit, I didn't think this far ahead.
Nope, yeah, that's the screen in the game.
Fee, yes.
How much would that fee be?
They say it's 100 gold piece fee. And the initial setup cost is 60 gold pieces.
Of course.
I will return when I've heard from the others.
Just leave the name blank for now.
You're gonna need to pay a 25 gold piece early cancellation fee, sir, because you started the paperwork.
I didn't, because I was asking.
So, guys, how'd it go?
We cleared everything up.
Right.
We have been registered as adventurers, so now the items are fully within our proprietary ownership.
So
we're
what's the
registered
name?
now. What's
Sorry.
the name?
We don't have a name.
But they can be sold as regular trade goods now. Full value.
Okay, so you haven't actually formalized the company yet?
No.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So the plan is just to leave then?
No, we are still going to do the deal.
But that doesn't make any sense, because it's now illegal goods, so we could get obscenely more money.
No, we're doing it because we're going to help them collect clearance.
Why would we ever do that?
Because they are going to cover our tithe fees for this. Somewhere in the ballpark of 600 gold pieces.
But that doesn't... We're putting ourselves in danger.
We are not going to be doing it alone.
No, we're tangled in bureaucracy right now.
I'd rather be in danger than tangled in bureaucracy.
Exactly.
I third that motion.
Why are we helping them? Why is this
is
an
the
option?
church. This is why I am helping them.
They're not the church, though. They're the bureaucracy of the church. There's two separate issues here.
That's double layers of terrible.
Zedaar just blinks at you like,
That is why I'm working with them.
Do you not... Zedaar, okay. Zedaar, I understand. I understand there's a cultural wall that we have to go through many of these. No. If we're gonna be an adventuring band, I put down my veto.
Then stay at home, you coward.
I'm not. One, we're now a target. We're now a target for every. Well, more so, yes, because they didn't know what was going on. Point to the people that are probably still working on the carts.
They're still
they didn't know what was going on. They're bureaucrats. They have no drive. And two,
I could probably sell them an engine so they can drive.
What you're telling me is a lich would get nothing out of these guys. There's no soul to be had.
There's no soul in this organization. It's pure law. It's pure, well, not law. It's just pure bureaucracy. And two, now a obviously deadly individual. We are on their bad side.
And everything goes right, he'll be arrested and or killed by tonight.
Yeah, if it's right. But they're millers. They have an organization.
I have question. Is it a potentiality that we could sell this alcohol to this miller and also keep the alcohol?
No.
I think that is what we're going to be getting here.
Dude, you don't understand. As soon as we take part in that, the goods are illegal again. They've taken part in an illegal activity because we're still taking part.
How would it be illegal activity if it is?
You don't understand how these people think.
It is a sting operation.
It is here. We have the paperwork for what is happening.
We have paperwork for the goods to be legal as it is right now, and we have a verbal agreement going on right now that we're not going to be persecuted for partaking in
we had a written
deal.
agreement, didn't we?
It would be an agreement written up as soon as you've formalized as a company that you were working in agreement with the with T.I.T.H.E in the apprehension of the dangerous Clarence Row for those various accounts, and that as long as you paid your tithe on the loot that was used in the sting, you would be fine.
They always say that. They always say it, Zep. It never goes that way.
Yeah, but
they'll figure out
yourself that they are the bureaucrats. They care only about paperwork. We will have the paperwork.
We don't have it now, do we?
I would like to
formalized an adventuring company. I could have gone there and called it Zep Skyspan Incorporated, but I did not think you would appreciate this.
I was
like
thinking the silver
to-
tails, but that's why I did not speak up.
Honestly, it would have been better than some of the ideas that have been floating around this camp last 2 nights. So I wouldn't have been against it fully.
We could
I have
chosen a
proposition.
temporary name, but it would have cost more money to change after. I was going to
it
say,
would have.
let us choose a name now. I will return to the town and get the incorporation done now.
How about the name just placeholder? And then,
Then we have to pay 60 gold pieces to change placeholder.
Well, if you're confident that we're going to be getting so much money off of this deal, then it should
One
be
of
profit.
one of the guys goes past. Actually, it's a 60 registering fee and then 100 if you want to change them. It continues. He's just like carrying a notepad. And
Thank you.
I hate these people. I hate them vehemently.
So we have to choose name now.
Or not, just placeholder, and then
Placeholder with capital P.
exactly. We'll put that down, and then if we figure something out, we'll figure it out.
Then what is placeholder? Did we just put down what? Trihorn Band?
No. No, I don't think we should put all of our lots in with the Triceratops. I don't think that should be our thing. Or what?
We've all come from some very different backgrounds, and the one unifying thing about this is something that we really shouldn't broadcast.
Universal export.
Let's bury rejects.
Yeah.
think we should
None
say
of us
this.
were intended to be.
The international
you
company.
weren't intended. It was your brother that was intended.
You know, we say things like that, Almir. It hurts.
So what are we doing, folks? Who's going where? Like,
I would like to have it spent while they were all having this long discussion inside the constabulary. Ruby would have liked to have talked to Joanna.
absolutely, you can do that. We'll definitely circle onto that. Is anyone going back to town to sign up or something?
We will
I
do that
will
just
once
to
we've got
ensure
a
this
name.
is official.
Okay.
What I would suggest is while you're talking to Ruby, why don't we take that discussion to Discord? We just type like name ideas.
Yeah, there you
We
go.
can do the two things at the same time.
So, Ruby,
Triceratops.
you go and speak to Joanna.
John, would you sit with me for a moment?
Of course, Fräulein. And she sits down.
How do you feel?
I feel a little sleepy. I feel like
Do
I
you
did
have any,
not get a very good sleep last night.
Any peculiar dreams?
I believe that I was walking through the woods, following a bright green light. And
What did this
I was-
light? What did it look like? Did it have a shape or did it look like a person or a thing?
No, it was an orb. And then, and then we ate. Then we ate some food, but it was very cold. And that's kind of all I remember.
Do you know how your power, your magic manifests? Do you have any inkling of how you do it yet?
I just know it's inside of me.
You are a sorcerer. It is a kind of spellcaster that is like me. Your power comes from within. For everybody, it manifests a little bit differently. For me, it's drawn from emotion, rage, passion, power, desire, those kinds of things. It manifests as fire frequently. But there are those who manifest it through their draconic heritage. There are those who manifest it through their divine heritage. But you, Joanna, seem to have a unique ability. It manifests through your mind. You can change reality with your mind. Your magic manifests from your own ability to see things how you want them to be. Your staff, you changed it without a thought.
Okay.
Which is incredible, but
Does that make
also
sense?
I'm sorry.
Does that make sense? When things happen, it is normally when I feel the most. I do not know the common word for it. When my mind feels the most raw. Very happy or sad. I do not know the word. The extremes of said feelings.
Yes. Emotion. It comes from emotion. My concern, Joanna, is your powers are manifesting without your direct control, even while you sleep. Last night we found you not far from here, up in the field.
She looked worried and... Oh no, did I hurt someone again?
No. Again.
That is good. That is good.
What do you mean again? Has this happened before?
I don't know why I said that. I feel like...
Can I insight check this?
Absolutely. Go ahead. It felt like there was a memory there, but I can't place it.
12.
She seems genuinely confused. She feels like that to you it seems like she said something and then doesn't know why she said that.
I think, Joanna, when you were kidnapped from your father, a spell was cast upon you to enchant you somehow, to put you to sleep, to seal away memories and bad times so you would be easier to manipulate. And when we found you, you were directly referred to as a weapon. And given the nature of the spell casting I saw last night, I think I understand why you were called that. I want you to work with me to temper your magic, to train it harder. Not because I want you to become stronger, because you are plenty strong. I've seen it. But so you can control it and then decide what you want to do with your magic. Whether that be to save others or do nothing.
She looks very contemplative at what you've been saying and then slightly smiles and says, I think that is a good idea. I do not wish to hurt anyone, and if you are correct on how magical you say I am, then it sounds like it is for the best.
Over the next few weeks, we are going to be taking you home. The road is probably going to be a little bumpy, and there are going to be times when you will be challenged. Before you use your magic, you need to think on how best to use it. Not just with here, and she'll point at her head, but also here, and point at her heart. It has to feel right. You have to use it for the right reason, not just because you can.
Okay.
Okay. I think I hear something going on outside, so I can't stay for long. I can only imagine what Darius has caused trouble now.
And with that complete, so you guys are going to go register the company, correct?
I think you have something with that one, Dalmir. That one kind of encapsulates a good deal of it.
I'm glad you like it.
The Silver Skyfire Adventuring Company. Or just Silver Skyfire. I like it.
It does have a certain ring to it, and I like alliteration, so.
We just need to make sure we never refer to it by just its last two letters.
Yeah, that was gonna,
Sorry, it just occurred to me.
That's why I added the extended part, the SSAC.
The SSAC.
Or we just call ourselves the SAC.
Sack. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
There's a reason I added to it.
So you register as the.
Well, are we agreed? Yes, before
No,
we
are you agreeing? Are you agreeing?
I have no issue with it.
I would hyphenate the Skyfire just so it's always those three letters in there. Purely
SSF.
on
Sure, that's fine.
just so you don't.
Makes it look cleaner too.
There's a lot of German accents in this campaign.
Flaming. How about flaming silver sky? FS.
See, now we're adding more. It just sounds like it sounds like we're a fighter jet.
Just use
I
the
have
full
no
name.
problem with this.
I told you what I wanted, but
It
no.
was the Silver Sky Mercenary, so
I prefer Adventuring Company. Personally.
I say we just put placeholder. We just put placeholder incorporated, and we wait until we figure something out. Then we get a thing.
See, if we wait forever, every idea that's going to come up, somebody's just going to say no to.
We do that in the long run. We're just going to end up being forever the placeholder incorporated.
You know what? That could be our thing, though.
No.
We could lean into that.
No.
Out of character, we could lean into that. Yeah.
No.
That would be hilarious.
But you go down and register. I'm guessing I'll take the 60 gold out of the party fund to do so.
Of course.
just throwing this last. What if we're the Silver Skyfire Order?
Well,
Does
if
that
I may
sound cleaner?
suggest, let's talk about this between sessions. We can
Sure,
formalize it.
we can do
Okay.
it between sessions.
Um,
We'll formalize it now, and it's just kind of wishy-washy in the air.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will let you play around with that between sessions, but you do go and get a formalized company because we can always retcon the name a little bit, especially with that revelation.
No, the camera just never shows the front of the sheet. That's for next episode.
And you do get your official license as a company written up, and the signed document from the T.I.T.H.E about this work. Are you going through with the sting operation?
Zedaar absolutely is.
Okay, then
Yeah.
we'll close tonight's session
Double
with
daily.
this. You drive towards the assigned location. And the sun is just about setting on the horizon, silhouetting the windmill. As you approach, I'm guessing Zedaar, you're at the helm of these beasts of burden. Are you using the normal cart, or did you go get horses? What was the...
I think now that we're official, it's just take the normal car.
Okay.
Point for the extra steps.
You see the two sacks outside. You unhook the two wagons with the 30 barrels on. You pick up the sacks, and you leave. Moments later, out from the windmill, 3 individuals come in, see the barrels, and begin to look through everything. It's very audible because there's a lot of them. From various bushes and other hidden locations, you hear, Ecclesiastical agent, don't move! And groups of paladins move in full plate armor, backed up by the same ecclesiastical agents that you've seen before in what seemed to be like a leather breastplate that's been over the top that says T.I.T.H.E, like embroidered into it, as they all just breach and arrest the individuals. A car rides in, galloping at full pace with 2 steeds at the helm. It's a metal-contained box with bars at the back, and the sting is complete. And we'll close off tonight with those 3 individuals being arrested, and as you look into the bag, the 6,000 golden trade bars firmly in your hands, with the knowledge that you may pay a small amount of it to the tithe. And we will join next week. So, sorry for the slightly shorter session today, guys, but we will be leaving it there. My voice is about to run out of energy. But as always, thank you so much to Commissar Roach, to Mordred Viking, to Lord Lambert, to DM Opal and DM Lake for playing. I've been Midgeman. This has been the Component Cast with the Elendor Chronicles, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye now, friends.
Bye, everyone.